Hey, everybody. Welcome back to our Monday night art expression class here on our Call to Awakening channel. We're so happy that you've decided to invite us into your home tonight, and we're happy to have you in our home tonight. My name is Cindy.
Rebecca Ravencraft.
Hey, you can call me Angie. Kira.
And we're your regular us three are your regular Monday night Call to Awakening group. Becca here is our guest tarot reader, and she's been breaking down for us. If you haven't been following along, and if you haven't, go back and get a recap on the other. She's been breaking down the Major Arcana for us, and it has been fascinating. She's worked on the combinations of cards. First of all, their basic meaning, and then how they play together in the tarot. And it's been absolutely fascinating. We've really enjoyed it, Becca. I can't tell you how much I've learned. And we were thinking we were heading toward maybe this was the end of the series, but I think I've got Becca talked into doing just a little bit more on the tarot, and I'll be very excited to hear that. So, in case this is your first time, this is our Monday night, 7-ish Central Time, Call to Awakening Art Expression class. Now, what's that? What the whole idea of it is that while someone talks about a topic, you paint or draw or craft or anything, any way that you like to do art, just like these ladies are right here. And you don't have to be brilliant like them. You don't have to start with nothing and come up with a beautiful painting, finished product at the end of our time together. Just do something. I myself am not an artist. I'll always be the first to say that. And I never let that stop me from playing along, because two things happen. First of all, if you care to, share your artwork with us. We get to see that and be edified by that. And I always love to see what people's takes are on what we're presenting, because, I can only see things through these eyes. And then I guess meditating and getting enlightened, you have a more circumspect view of things. But at the end of the day, we can only see things from where we've been. And when people share things with us, their own unique expressions and artwork, you get a little slice of where they've been and who they are and what spirit came here to express through them. I love that. Secondly, so if you do something, play along and post your art. You see these guys' stuff all the time. And Tamara, hey Tam, I'm sure you're here. She always posts something brilliant that she's working on. She's down in Florida, living a really just challenging life there on the beach. Y'all probably seen her prayer shares every day on the beach. All you hear is from the shore laughing there. I'm not jealous. Not a jealous part of my body. Anyway, everybody share along your stuff, and it just helps the group become closer, and we can share more and more of ourselves with each other. And then secondly, later on, I always say life will go through its peaks and valleys. When you're in a valley, you may be at a peak right now, drawing something beautiful like Angie's doing over here. When you get to a valley and you see a reminder of that topic, I always kind of have to laugh, especially in our bathroom now. If you go in our bathroom, it's like a study in different spiritual concepts that Kira's painted for us. And
I was tired of them sitting in a stack.
Yeah, they were sitting in a stack in our living room for a while. And our house has been a project for a few years, and we're just about to come to the end of that. And so it's nice to see those things hanging on the wall. Anyway, and I honestly got every day and every time I go into the bathroom, I get reminded of these spiritual concepts. I think, I remember when Kira painted that, and this is what we were talking about. And I've been living that, my own advice that I give to y'all, which, advice is fools don't need it, and no, fools won't heed it, and wise men don't need it. That's how that goes. So I'm always careful of giving advice, but I will share ways for you that I think will be kinder to yourself, to find your life more kind to yourself, because you're around you all the time. Might as well be good to yourself. Dang, that's what I'm thinking. So tonight, now that I've wandered on for a while, I hope you've taken that time to go get you some pens or pencils or markers or paints or ever what medium that you're going to use to express the ideas tonight that will come only from you. These beautiful, wonderful, unique creations, and then share that with us. And I promise you, Becca will have brilliant things to say about the tarot. I've been a student of the tarot for many, many years, and I always find her impressions of things very enlightening. And remember, what she does here is more of a life path thing. If you want to, you can get in touch with her. Michael will show you how to do that. and she'll do a life path reading for you and a little like slice of life path. I'm not sure what we called that, but just for a moment of time there, she can do.
Well, you know, when you think of life path, it's sometimes even just day to day is a life path. You know, because one
Amen,
day
that's
affects
sister.
the next.
So my day's been pretty long too. I
Yeah.
can tell you that in my experience.
every decision affects the next one. You know.
It does. It does. It's like a domino, you know? Boom, it hits that and it goes on. And that's how life is in decision making. Okay, so the way this works, as I said, is a bona fide method of learning. The idea is to occupy the left side of your brain, or the right side of your brain, the more creative side, and let you do some kind of art. That's why we choose art as a medium. That's why it's important. I mean, you can do other things, but the more you use your brain, the creative side of your brain, intentionally, the more the learning side of your brain, if you will learn. So
The more senses you involve.
that's right. That's exactly it. So get all your senses up in there and get them involved and learn something that Becca has to share with us tonight. And then, if I can stop talking soon enough, we'll have time for Becca to do a couple of freebie readings for people. She's been doing some for us, and let me tell you, it's been kind of crazy. Y'all have seen that if you've been playing along. And if you haven't, I really, I think Michael has it now so that all of our classes here with Becca are on her page. That's Divine Spirit Messages with Rebecca Ravencraft by the Call to Awakening group. That's the Facebook page. And then, or you can find her on our Facebook page, Call to Awakening, or at our YouTube channel, the Call to Awakening group, which may shortly be just the Call to Awakening. That's a dynamic name right there. But for now, let's step back for a minute, shall we? Ladies, are you at a place where you can kind of chillax for a minute and step away from your creativity?
Soon.
They are painting.
Yeah. Paint dries, you know.
Yeah, I get it. So, I'm going to let them roll. I usually ask them to kind of play along, but for tonight, we'll just kind of let them roll because they're in some time-sensitive paint situations, apparently, that they could tell me anything about it, too. I don't know. So, it's kind of funny. All right. How about we just close our eyes together here for a minute? Take a couple of deep breaths together. Let's take another deep breath together. And let that go. And just let your breathing return to a slow, deep pace. We know, as I've said many times, that we cannot breathe slowly and deeply and experience fear at the same time. It's physiologically impossible. So as we breathe slowly and deeply together, we move further and further away from that fear to the other end of the spectrum. You may even already, as you've controlled your breathing, felt your own vibration raising, getting higher. That's how things work as humans for us. As our body is calm, it allows our spirit to become prevalent. And now in your mind's eye, I'd like you just to see yourself in your 3D form. And let yourself become very aware of that 3D form. Very aware of your slow breathing. And as thoughts come into your mind, sometimes they do, just thank them for stopping by and let them go. Don't argue with them. Don't extol them in any way or admonish them. Just let them be. And we'll find ourselves feeling just now, just this present moment. And as we hold on to that idea of being just now, just in the present, just in this physical form, let us experience the vibration of love through the sounds of this prayer bowl. And as those sounds ring through us, let us hold that vibration of love. Let us hold that vibration of this moment. And another deep breath together in and hold that and just let that go. And as you like, come on back here to this 3D experience. Open your eyes, but let yourself continue to feel that peace in your own presence. Come on back here, Becca. Let's talk about some tarot. I was wondering if you were lost.
really
in
nice out
space.
there in the universe,
I know. I always feel that too. I just feel great. We always film these. We of course have our 9 to 5, and we wake up in the morning and do our little routine and prepare ourselves for the day. And then you know how it is. By the time you get home from the work a day, it's you need a little minute to prepare and to go on if you have something else. And that's what evenings are for. All of us come right from work and then jump right into this. And for me, that little break is so, y'all may have seen a little picture I posted just not too long ago as we were getting ready for things. We completely transform our living room and our great room, as it were, situation.
Even just coming through traffic, it's
Becca drives a long way and these guys drive a long way to come up here and meet at our house. So that little minute for me is just so precious, Okay, I'm going to get out of your hair. Let Becca talk about the Major Arcana. Finish it up for us, Becca. Bring it home.
Yeah. I do want to speak a little bit about the difference between the Major Arcana and the Minor Arcana, which Cindy had brought up a question about it. The Major Arcana are basically the trump cards. They're the power cards. They're the fate cards, the destiny cards, the major direction cards. I mean, they hold a lot of influence in the energies, or reflect, I should say. The cards don't hold energies or determine anything. They reflect what's going on around the person. And the Minor Arcana, which are just, the basic aces to kings, I call them the moments. They're kind of the events that happen through the story or through the day or through the moment. Because spiritually, time is really hard to measure. When you're in the spirit realm, it is not measured in time like we measure. It is measured in moments and movements. So when somebody says, well, how long is that going to take? I'm like, well, how long does it take to do from movement A to movement B? That's the measurement it takes. If it takes you a day, it's going to be a day. If it takes you a month, it's going to be a month. And so that's why I caution a lot of people about time questions, because time is really based on consciousness and your choices of moving through consciousness, which is a whole other subject. But the Major Arcana is really the strongest of the whole deck, that reflects the strongest energies around you. So today we're going to talk about the star. Did you have a question about that? I was just kind of moving on. The moon, the sun, judgment, and the world, which is card number 21. And I brought the Fool because from this card, it moves all the way back into 0 again. In some decks, the Fool is actually the last card. In some decks, the Fool is the first card. And there's a reason for that, and we'll get into that. So this star is, I always call it the angel card. It's the card that says there's good energies for you to manifest what you're desiring to manifest, or the manifestation is within the works. It's still up there in the ethers. It's like it's still in the mixing bowl when you're making a cake, but it's there. The energy's there. It's being worked on. It is also a card of bringing the past and present together. So bringing those two things to a point. So some people have to learn lessons by bringing their past up to their present. They're like, oh, I remember, I've experienced that before. And if you haven't learned it, it's still going to come up into your present time until you learn it or until you heal it. And that's what the star card does. It helps you move into healing by bringing things together, by bringing the past into the present in a gentle way, not a rough way, but in a way that you can handle. It is also a card of wishes, desires coming true, or the energy supporting those wishes and desires. It is not a card saying it is going to manifest. It's a card saying there are energies there to help you manifest what you desire into your world. It is also a card of, success, support. I just keep seeing it. It's like, to me, it's like people would say it's the angel card. Angels watching over you, angels assisting you, divine guidance, things like that. Because all choices are ultimately yours. All actions are ultimately yours. So many times we ask for divine guidance, and that's what the star card is saying. Ask for divine guidance if you have questions.
Becca, would you hold that star card up right in front of that camera right there?
Like that? Or
no, over here, this camera.
That one?
Yep. Can you get that, Michael? Push it right on out there, all the way in front like that. There you go. That's a better view. Okay, great. I just wanted everybody to be able to see that.
Yeah. As you see, she has her foot on the water and on the land. So it's an element of physical and spiritual. And there's so many different meanings within a picture, but it still goes back to the spiritual, working and helping energies to get you in, get into the physical realm. The moon card, this card has a dual meaning. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
The moon card says that it's intuition, going within, follow your intuition, follow divine guidance like the star card. But it also is, and it depends on the cards around it or the energy that is interpreted with it, the feelings that are going with it. It's a card of hidden meanings, even hidden enemies. Things are not seen clearly. It says, look beyond the surface of things. It is an emotional card. Perhaps emotions are getting in your way of seeing things. It could be a card literally of delusions, that you think it's real, but it's really a delusion, not just an illusion, but a delusion, meaning it's just made up in your mind. It's something you want it so much, you make it up in your mind, you believe it to be real when it's not. That's the depths of the moon card's caution. And so, it's a balance of learning intuition, what is intuition, and what is the ego saying, this is what I want, so I'm going to make it up and try to follow that. And so that's what the moon card is really cautioning, make you question or really make sure that when you follow your intuition, have divine guidance, have other confirmations about what you're thinking about or what is bringing to you. And that's what the Sun card does. The Sun card is the illumination. It is really it's success and it's freedom, as you see. I don't know, hold it up here. Can you see that? The child has the arms wide open. There's no reins on that horse. It's freedom. It's freedom to choose. It's freedom to bring in your desire, the illumination, to see things clearly, success. So if you have the Star card and the Sun card, it's definitely very clear divine guidance. And if you have the Sun card with the Moon card, that means that you will have clarity on what you're not seeing. The Moon card, again, it's just one of those double meaning cards, like the Death. It depends on the cards around it and what the reading and energies are around it. So the Moon card at one time could just mean intuition. Other time it could mean hidden enemies, or you're not seeing things clearly. The Sun is saying, we're showing you clearly what things are, or you will see clearly what things are. And this production guy running over here. Judgment. Judgment is a renewal, a rebirth. It is. It's also coming to terms with your past, or what you have done in your past, or harvesting. It usually means a good harvest, but if you sowed bad seeds, you will have that kind of harvest. You will have a bad harvest. So the Judgment card is you will get what you planted. It is also a card of transformation, of reposition, or a changing position, of great change. So it's like the people are coming out of the graves. They are in the grave and they're being reborn into a new life. That's what Judgment is. They're dropping the old, coming into a new life. That card can be easy and it could be harsh. It just depends on how really what you've done or what you haven't done, what you've worked with. It's the end of one moving into the other, which moves into the world. The world, again, this is what is really with these major arcana cards, is that because they have so many layers and so many meanings, that's what gives them so many different, I call, reflections. The world is a completion of a cycle. It is saying things have come around to in the cycle. And I picked the Fool card because the world's saying a new cycle begins, and a newness begins. It is completion. It is success. It is a change. Your way of life is changing. And it's not like the Tower card, which things are torn down and everything changes. This is more of a choice that things are changing in your life, and it's a new life is beginning. And the difference between the World and the Fool card is the Fool card is like starting school, where the World card is you have completed the grade and now you're going on to another grade. There's still new paths, but this one is you've completed one and starting a new one, and this one is you're just starting. It could be anything. This is also, I see this as a time, and so one of the few cards that can help you with time is months, a season, like when is it going to happen? World card comes up. It could be within a season, the next season, a year, a month. It just depends what kind of energy I see on the card. Like the other day when the World card came up and we talked about spring, the energy was just flowing in the springtime. So it was like 3 weeks. So, because we were at the end of spring. And so that the World card does flow into the Fool, which is a new beginning. World card is new beginning because the last one had ended, which is the Judgment, which is a transformation and an ending into a new life. The World is a completion into a new path. And then the Fool is just a brand new path. questions where I can just work with these more? I have questions on. Anybody have a question? Cindy, you have great questions.
Sorry, I was distracted, but I was trying to figure something out here. So I wanted to look at that again. So tell me, the world always means that things are changing.
Well,
Like-
it can mean change. The world is success. It is things coming to a completion. So if you've been working on a project, or it also means that things are coming to an end in a good manner. You know, it's completion. It's coming into an end. Things will change, and it's going to go on to the next phase. It's success. It's cycles. It's the cycle of life. It's the cycle of seasons. So, you know, it's like things, your cycle of a season could go through a day, a moment. It's just events happening, but it just means cycles and completion and coming back around to start again.
Let's see what these guys are painting over here, shall we? Kira, what do you got? You're painting a star card over there, are you?
I am, and I found it. I don't know near as much as the two of you as far as the tarot goes, so I've done a lot of studying, and I found it very interesting that, especially the Rider-Waite deck, I can't say that.
Rider-Waite, yeah, that's right.
You know, there's the one big star, and there are always 7 stars around it. Those 7 stars are representative of your chakras and being in alignment.
That's interesting.
And so that's what
I couldn't help but think of the 7 of Cups when she was talking about that.
Well, that's multiple choices. Too.
Right. That's what I thought that.
Well,
that
the
was gonna be.
seven also is a numerology, and you have to go back into ancient Babylonian, actually, where a lot of this started. And because there are 7 days, and you know, even though they base their numbers on 6, but 7 was the 7th was the holiest number, and so there were 7 days, and so 7 was the spiritual number, this number of God, on and on and on. And so that's why the star card is considered the spirit card, the angel card,
Right.
because it has that 7 in there.
And the other thing I found interesting is that the stars always have 8 points.
What's that about?
The 8 points are representative of your inner strength.
The numerology,
Right.
8 can be really prosperity.
Yeah, it's a prosperous, it's, the money number.
Yeah.
It's prosperity, yeah.
It's kind of an inner strength. If you're in alignment and you've torn, your tower has fallen, it's burned down, and you've gotten through that, and you're finally kind of at a respite stage of, okay, now let's get things in alignment and
Get rolling
Come on.
again. I heard you call the
gather
star
that
card.
inner strength.
I heard you call the star card the wish card. I always think of that as the 9 of Cups.
Yeah, the 9 of Cups is the wish card saying your wishes will come true or your wishes granted. This is your wishes are, and like I said, it's still in the mixing bowl. It's the energies working on your wishes.
That ties in so much with those 8 points. That's what I was trying to make that connection, and that's very interesting.
That, the energies are working on your manifesting, on your wishes, on your desires, on your dreams. You have the etherics, the higher beings helping you bring those in. So yeah, it deals with wishes and dreams, where the 9 of Cups says your wish is granted.
I got you.
Yeah. And so this is still in progress of working on.
See, I'm telling you, we need to do the minor arcana too.
But
What you got going on, Angie?
Okay, so I'm working on painting some clouds and thinking about how I wish I could be, I wish that I had purchased oil paint because I've been wanting to work in oils even more. But it also goes along with, besides that, I've been just practicing painting. And as I've been selling more paintings and trying more techniques, it gets me really excited. So it kind of goes along with that.
Oh, with the star card?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a different way. A more personal journey type.
Well, even,
What we do with.
you're up in the clouds and the skies, and where do we think heaven is? Heaven
Yeah,
is
it's
always
the
up.
celestial quality.
Yeah, the celestial. It's always above us. And, you know, in the
Whoever's
Bible it
been
says,
looking
look
for
up,
things, yeah.
your redemption draws nigh.
Right.
You know, and it's actually physiologically tested that when you look up, it changes your physiological brain condition to release endorphins in your brain
You know
to
why
bring
that
you
is?
up.
You're focusing your pineal gland.
Yeah, you're
That's
changing the
about
pineal
when you lift your
gland.
eyes. That's part of when you. I went through this whole process to decalcify my pineal gland and then open it up, and it was kind of freaky, and it was quite an experience for me. But one of the exercises was to hold your eyes right there, you know, kind of cross them and hold them right there. That's what that's all about. Maybe that's why the sky.
Well, this is actually if you physiologically turn your head upwards. And they've actually even proven that you cannot get depressed in this state when your head's tilted up.
But you can drown if it's raining.
Yeah.
So, you know, you got that.
It could be a turkey. You know, drown yourself.
All right. Right on. Okay. Well, it looks like, Mikey, you got anybody wanting a free reading over there? Because we're kind of getting close on time here.
Hey man, you missed me last time. I'll volunteer.
Oh, Angie's going to get herself a reading done. Look at that. Okay,
All right,
Becca.
let's pull the other deck open. And we'll do that.
So let us know, y'all, if you want to hear more about the tarot cards and learn some more. I know I've learned a lot, you know. And the thing about tarot is it's like anything else. There's a lot said about tarot. I'll just put it like that. And, you know, remember what the intent is. That's always, it seems to me, the determining factor of is something good or bad or evil or blessed, or it all has to do with the intent of the energy that's put into it, and the perception in the same manner that a rock can be a foundation upon which to build a home, it also can be an instrument of death. So
Or
you know,
something you trip on.
or something to trip on. Yeah, there you go.
Luck.
So a lot of a variance there, you know. So let it be something positive, and it will be. That's what I always say. Let it be good. Dang it. Okay.
That's why it's like each tarot reader, I say interpretation because that's what it is. It's really interpretation. And you get attracted to the ones that, you know, each tarot reader has their own interpretation. And that's why I like working with hearing different interpretations. And I think about how that applies in my life when I, you know, because events happen. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's just like this card. And I think about the lesson of the card and what, you know, then it's not just about the interpretation, but it's also to learn to prepare in your life. You know, how do we think things, how to prepare. So if you know the tower is coming, you're like, okay, I'm not going to panic. I'm going to prepare by, okay, this is going to happen or something's going to fall apart and I need to stay calm so I can calmly
Helps me the ant instead of the
Right.
grasshopper.
Right.
I know.
And so I just see the tarot as a tool, not a determination.
Tool, not a determiner. Awesome. Like a baseball bat.
Yeah.
Okay, Andrew, you got a thought in mind or a question or what do you want to do?
I don't know. I thought you just sort of read my field and throw the
Yeah,
cards.
sure. I'll just throw the cards. Here, it's like I throw the cards at you, right?
Yeah. Oh, expect a call from my lawyer.
And I also want to say, sometimes I've had readings where people were like, I really don't have any connection to that. You know, I don't know I understand what you're saying. And I really don't see any connection. And then I get called a week later or something. They're like, oh my gosh, what you told me just come through, just happened, just, you know, but because you told me about it, I was able to handle it better. I was able to deal with it better because of the interpretation and other things that allows one to think about it. Because if you're prepared to think about it or practice, you'll be better prepared. You know, it won't be such a reaction. You'll have action, not reaction. Okay, so the first one that popped up is the Chariot. So first thing I felt with that was a move, literally a move, because the Chariot could also means pack your bags, you're moving. It's followed by the Lover's card, which is a partnership. Could be the Lovers. The Lover's card is partnerships. I feel maybe there is, I was making sure these were not all put together. No, these are separated. They're just coming up like this. Okay, the death card. Are you guys planning on moving?
Yeah, we're considering moving. We'd like a little bit more space than we've got now. So, I mean, that's up there.
Yeah, let me put this out here. I'm going to do a gate set. Okay, so that's why the Chariot came up first, was the move. The partnership, I mean, you guys are considered moving, but I think it could be a business, could be a job related to the job in the death card. And it's most likely something's coming to an end. You may not know about yet. And that's the gate of this step, because it moves into a new home. With the Chariot above and the Four of Wands, it's the new home. And this is coming into an end, but a new cycle. There's definitely movement here. Whatever's keeping you where you are is ending, so you can move on. Because after that is the Two of Pentacles, which is keeping things in balance. And sometimes it also means multiple jobs to keep things in balance. Like, here we can say, you have your 9-to-5 job, then we come here and do this. We're doing multiple jobs here. And that's what that Two of Pentacles says, is just remember to keep things in balance when this happens. The Seven of Pentacles is the bide your time. The things are planted. You're just waiting for the harvest. You're waiting for things to come. Mm-hmm. And these are both pentacles. So this has to do with money, has to do with, the physical world. And then the Four of Pentacles again at the base, which is two things, either spending too much money or holding too tightly to money. The card can say, you got to let go. You got to move on. Don't be afraid to do what you need to do, like pay things or, buy things. And also says, maybe you're overspending. Maybe you're spending too much on things you don't need to buy. So, that's up to the person, what that card means. And both of them are based on fear. So you have to look at the fear while you're either holding on too tightly or spending too much. Generally, when you overspend, you're trying to fulfill something. It's an emptiness you're trying to fill, and it will never be fulfilled that way. But the Ace of Cups there in the world. So whatever this move is, it's really good outlook, because the Ace of Cups is ye cup runneth over. Yeah. And then the world, again, a completion and a new cycle begins. It's success. So whatever your decision, what's causing this move to happen, because the Death card is up here within the move, it's actually a good thing. And while moving through this into your new home, the Four of Wands, new home, success, foundation, keep a balance and be patient for things to blossom, to be ready to be harvested. And ultimately, it comes down to the foundation of success, cup runneth over, and watch what you're doing. That's what the balance card here with the money is. Maybe you need to save or watch your budget, but don't be stingy. Don't enjoy yourself, but don't be overspending type thing. So you have a question, follow up with that?
Thank you. That's what I have to say mostly. Kind of coincides with everything we've been thinking and.
Well, you're definitely moving, because that Chariot was the first thing to come out, and that's the main question.
And the money thing is kind of funny, because today I was talking to the kids, and there are a few things that you've done around the house. I was just like, I don't know whether or not we're going to put the money toward this, or whether or not we're just going to stick the money in this, account. And then I was like, well, honestly, by the time that the time would be, we should have had these things done no matter what anyway. Right. And that's so
well, with the Two of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles, I would just be logical with the money.
Yeah.
Be logical. Don't go with emotion, because with the Ace of Cups next to it, which is your cup runneth over next to the Four of Pentacles, saying the Ace of Cups of emotions may influence the spending or not spending, so that's also saying you might have to step back, move this Four of Pentacles away from your emotions and look at it logically. But ultimately the world comes to, which is a completion, a success, and into the next cycle.
Thank you.
Man, that's a good read.
Yeah,
I'd take that for sure. Heck yeah. All right. Well, there you go, y'all. Got a lesson on the last, what was it, 5 cards you did on the Major Arcana. And you see how things work together. If you want to get yourself a read, let us know. There's plenty of ways. We've showed you how to do that. And hopefully we'll be back next week with maybe a little more breakdown on the tarot of the Minor Arcana. We'll figure out something maybe
Right.
if Becca's up for that.
Yeah, because with the Minor Arcana, they can have meanings, but when you do different layouts, they have different meanings. You know, that's why, and even every card could have a different meaning at different positions. And that's why a lot of times I do free flow layouts. I just feel like where the cards need to go, and then I see the energy and how they connect. But when you first start learning, it's good to start with the recipes, you know, the layouts, learning the cards, what they mean in this position or this position. And then you start, and I hope to teach or share how cards can connect with each other and how they influence each other. How the Chariot says, you know, chariot of movement in a partnership, or you two together, partnership in business. It could be a job. It could be you get another job offer somewhere else. Who knows? But the death meaning where you're at is coming to an end, and below it is the new home. So you are moving. And it's saying keep and balance your finances. Don't base your financial decisions on fears and emotions, but keep balance, and then everything is successful. You know, it's just
Easy cheesy lemon squeezy. All right, man. Thank you so much,
You're
Becca.
welcome.
I appreciate that. Hope you all have learned something hanging out with us here tonight, or ever if you catch us on the playback or whatever. Okay, so we'll see you next week. We'll learn a little bit about the Minor Arcana of Tarot. Post the stuff that you've created tonight, if you will, y'all. We love you. Namaste. Remember, be kind to yourself and excellent to others.
Yay!